To complete the procedure, you'll need the following tools and supplies: an HG spline cassette tool, calipers or a ruler, 3 and 1.5 millimeter hex keys, a 10 millimeter wrench, 26 and 15 millimeter wrenches, or suitable adjustable wrenches or vise, snap ring pliers, and a mallet. You'll also need 30 cc's of 5 to 10 weight fork oil, slick honey grease, and general purpose grease. We recommend the thick marine variety. After removing the fork from the bicycle, remove the dust cover from the spring leg. Turn the preload to its lightest setting, fully counterclockwise. To ease spring installation, it's recommended that you back out the top cap several turns using your HG spline cassette tool. Turn the rebound setting to its full slowest position clockwise, and remove the rebound and ramp control knobs using your 1.5 millimeter hex. Loosen the damper screw and the ramp control assembly knob with a 10 millimeter wrench. Partially reinstall the ramp control knob on the damper screw and ramp control assembly screw, and strike them with a mallet to break the rods free from the casting. Then fully remove both screws from their rods. Slide the casting off the stanchion assembly and set it aside. Lubrication oil may drip from the casting and stanchions, but oil loss can be reduced if the casting is left horizontal. Use snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring at the bottom of the spring side stanchion. The spring assembly may pop out slightly if it's under compression. First, unthread the lock nut from the top of the spring rod with a 15 millimeter wrench on the lock nut and a 26 millimeter wrench, additional adjustable wrench, or a vise on the spring seat. To set travel, you will measure the distance from the top of the spring rod to the top of the lock nut. Once you have the travel set with the lock nut, tighten the two parts together snugly, but not so tight that you strip either part. Lightly grease the top out spring, then insert the spring rod assembly into the bottom of the stanchion. Gently press the stanchion plug into the end of the stanchion, making sure not to damage the O-rings. Install the snap ring with your snap ring pliers to hold the spring rod assembly in place. You may need to apply light pressure to the stanchion plug in order to seat the snap ring. Check that the snap ring is seated by rotating it in the interior stanchion groove. Before attempting to install the casting, partially install the damper screw into the damper rod and fully extend it. Remove the damper screw once complete. Clean and inspect the wiper seals and foam rings for dirt or damage. Replace if needed. Grease the wiper seals with slick honey or equivalent before installing the casting. With the stanchion assembly inverted, slide the lower casting onto the stanchions until the lower bushings are engaged. Pour approximately 15 cc of fork oil into the screw hole of each leg. Hold the fork at an angle while pouring, or use an angled syringe to avoid getting oil in the ends of the damper and spring rods. Resume sliding the casting onto the stanchions until the casting touches the damper and spring rods. Install the damper screw and ramp control assembly screw and tighten them both to 8 Newton meters. Reinstall the rebound and ramp control knobs on their appropriate sides. Red on the damper side and orange on the spring side. Tighten the spring preload cap assembly using your HG spline cassette tool to 5 Newton meters. Reinstall the spring preload dust cover and get ready to shred.